Welcome back to Grade 8 Geography, Unit Number 1, Global Settlement, Patterns and Sustainability. This is Lesson Number 5, How can physical processes affect environments? Before we begin today's lesson, let's consider the following. What natural events or human activities can threaten the survival of communities? Why don't you put the video on pause so that you have time to write down your response to this question, and then we'll share our ideas at the start of our next class. All right, let's proceed. Earth's physical processes, such as volcanoes, desertification, and earthquakes, can have major impacts on human settlements. As populations grow and population densities increase, the impact of these processes will affect more people. Most of Earth's volcanoes are found in the Ring of Fire, an area that circles the Pacific Ocean. Most volcanoes are dormant or extinct, so they are considered safe to live on. However, active volcanoes are not safe to live on. When they erupt, they release lava, gas, and ash that destroy settlements and cause injury and death. Despite the risks, 500,000,000 people live on or near a volcano. They do this because volcanoes are sources of precious metals. The soils around volcanoes are rich in soil. Many people choose to live on or near a volcano because of the job opportunities in mining and farming. And you look at this image here, it looks like a beautiful, peaceful agricultural site, but then you let your eyes go towards the background and look what we've got going on in back. There are other benefits of living near volcanoes. Homes near volcanoes can have a natural hot water supply and home heating due to geothermal energy from the volcanoes. People are fascinated by volcanoes. Thus, areas with volcanoes are major tourist areas. This tourism provides another source of economic activity for areas such as Iceland and Ecuador. Settlements that have major earthquakes face a unique set of challenges. Many earthquakes occur below oceans and can cause devastating tsunamis. All coastal settlements are in danger. The biggest earthquakes do not always cause the greatest damage and loss of life. The amount of damage depends on how densely populated the area is. Other factors include the strength of the structures in the area and what emergency measures were taken to evacuate. Scientists still cannot predict earthquakes. People living in areas like California practice earthquake drills, make evacuation plans, and set up shelters. The governments in California and Japan have developed building codes to make sure the buildings are earthquake proof. However, not all countries are using building materials that can withstand earthquake shocks. Countries like Haiti have experienced greater amounts of damage from earthquakes because their buildings cannot withstand earthquake shocks and they do not have the money needed to replace lost structures. In addition, people in earthquake-prone areas may not have the means to move themselves and their families to safer areas. Desertification is the gradual process of turning dry lands into desert. Over 100 countries are losing their dry lands to desertification. Drought worsens desertification because it directly affects soil quality. When moisture is lost, the soil becomes loose and blows away, changing the area to desert much quicker. Desertification is widespread, and the loss of farmland is causing settlement patterns to change greatly. Dust storms are a consequence of desertification. These storms blow dust into the atmosphere, causing damage to equipment and buildings. The dusty winds also harm human eyes and skin. They can also cause breathing difficulties. One positive impact of dust storms is that winds can drop dust in faraway areas. The soils in tropical rainforests actually receive most of their mineral nutrients from dust that came from the Sahara Desert in Africa. When there is too much water on a slope, the land can slide or flow down the slope, creating a landslide or a mudslide. Settlements near steep slopes covered by clay uh, or silt are in the most danger. Landslides can also result from natural events such as heavy rain, melting snow, and earthquakes. Human activities can also lead to landslides. For example, clear cutting a forest results in tree roots no longer holding land in place, making landslides easier. Construction of lands built on slopes sometimes involves the removal of land that was supporting an area, making it unstable. When landslides and mudslides hit settlements, destruction and loss of life can be high. To help reduce the risk of landslides, communities must keep dangerous areas off limits. Communities can also try to direct people away from these areas. Sometimes landslides can have beneficial results. In areas like the Indus River Basin, fallen rocks from landslides have built a natural dam, allowing the area behind the dam to fill up with sediment, resulting in a new body of land that is suitable for agriculture. While the climate is still cool, people have been able to form new settlements where they could not have done so before. So let's finish today's lesson by considering this. Would you live in an area where there's a risk of an earthquake, tsunami, or landslide? And if yes, why would you live in an at-risk area? So again, you're going to put the video on pause so that you can reread these questions and then write your responses. We will, of course, share all of our ideas to these two questions during our next class. If you don't feel prepared to write your responses to these two questions, it means you need to go back, listen to the video at least a couple of more times, and then when you're ready, put the video on pause. And I look forward to hearing everybody's responses in tomorrow's class. But until then, this concludes today's video.